Another one of our basic garden maintenance tasks that we have to do is tilling the soil. So your first step will be to go to the shed and grab one of these 3-pronged tillers. And basically we do this whenever the soil kind of has either the sun has kind of baked it so that there's like kind of this crust on top. You can see that there are like cracks that start to form in the soil once it starts to get dry like this, and that's not good because that means water is really kind of just going like on top of the soil and spreading around and only going in through the cracks, and we want it to be going down into where the roots of our plants are so they are able to grow bigger and be more supported. So this task is pretty simple. Essentially, you're just going to grab your prong and just kind of start pulling the soil around. You can kind of like do like a twisting motion, use either side of it, but I think the pointed ones work better. And you're just pulling up the soil and just breaking up that kind of hard crust so that we have like this much looser soil that kind of runs through your fingers, and that's a lot better for water to get down into. And just a tip as you're working, as you're going, it can be easy to kind of like hill up soil as you're like doing a particular area. So try and make sure that we're keeping like an even layer throughout the bed so we avoid hilling and all of our plants have the soil that they need. So that's like a pretty good example of what it should look like when you're finished. Yeah, top few inches are nice and broken up. Another thing to watch out for is these black lines. These are connected to our irrigation system, which is our system that automatically waters our plants when it functions. And just again, be aware of these when you're cultivating. Like, it's able to replace broken lines, but we have limited supplies for that. So like, just don't go like ripping one out of the ground, or just be aware of where your prongs are in relation to those. Another important thing to just be aware of is, especially when you're tilling close to like the bases of plants, to just be extra cautious and slow down a bit more and actually like really look at what you're doing. It can be easy to kind of like get into the rhythm and the motion of doing everything, and you kind of start going harder, and that can just lead to like accidentally ripping out plants. And especially with these plants, these are our tomato plants, they're pretty established, so like even if you knock one of them, they're probably going to be okay. But again, just be a little bit more cautious. You can get right up to like the base of the plant, but just be pretty like delicate and gentle. This bed has been watered, and so I'm not going to do any cultivating of it at this point. But just to like give you an example, when plants are kind of in their baby stages, like seedlings, very small, recently planted, we want to be extra careful when we're going around, because a lot of them still have their roots are still like in the process of spreading out. So even like going like an inch or two close to the plant, if you're deep enough, can just completely dislodge it. So that's just something to be aware of when you're cultivating with newly planted beds. But other than that, that's about it. You'll just cultivate each bed, getting the corners and basically doing the entire bed until it's all turned over and evenly distributed.